There's a block on the edge of this town no one talks of.
Welcome back to Silver Lake, a small town RPG. This is the owner, Morgan, and I'm here today to talk to you about the rules of the game. So very quickly, if you're not already on the Silver Lake Wiki, go to silverlakecoloradorpg.pbworks.com, and once you're there, scroll down to the sidebar and click the rules link. Silver Lake is a very casual and laid-back sort of game, but we do have some rules that we insist upon. That way, everyone has an equal opportunity to have fun. Very briefly going to review each rule, but reading over this from time to time will help ensure that you are aware of game expectations. So number one, what do I need to know immediately after joining? Basically, we ask that you get in contact with the moderators. The reason for this is because we know that people have questions about joining the game and they may need an idea about what it is they need to start off by doing. If you get in contact with us, we can help you with getting acquainted with the other members as well as creating a character that fits in with our game. If we don't hear from you, we do try to get in contact with you just to make sure things are going well. Eventually, we will have to remove you if we don't hear anything and you're not creating a character with one of the members in the group. Number two, I've made a character. Now what? Well, you may have made a character, but we need to make sure that number one, it applies to the information that we're looking for, which means ultimately that it needs to fit in with one of the templates that we have on the wiki. You have the option of using any of the character templates that are available. We just want to make sure that we have the minimal information available to us. After you've actually created the character, we also want you to submit it for approval. Once we've received a character bio, the moderators will discuss it and let you know if there's anything that needs to be changed. As you can see, we try to approve as many characters as possible, but sometimes we'll get characters that just don't fit into the game, or maybe it's a character that's already in a role that another character has. Character creation is a process. Don't get frustrated if we ask you to make any changes. Once you're approved, you need to go ahead and add your character to the game wiki. It's not terribly hard to do, but we understand that sometimes you'll need some help. So basically what you'll do when you're creating a character is you'll come to the top of the page here and click the Create a Page link. You'll then add character name into the Name Your Page area, and you'll put the page into the appropriate folder. With characters, of course, it's going to go into the active folder under the character section. Once you've done that, it'll take you to a brand new page where you can add your character profile and any other information you want to. Feel free to decorate the character pages as much as you possibly can. There are a few other areas that you'll need to add your character information to. These will include either the women or men's. You'll need to add character birthday so we can help keep up with your characters' birthdays and age the characters appropriately as gameplay continues. We'll also require you to come down here and put your character's name on the name claims and then the face you chose to use for your character in the face claims. Finally, the last place you'll want to add the character is under your section in the Writers tab. The Writers tab divides each player up by name as well as the characters that they currently play within said game. So going back to the rules page, that is all you would have to do as far as character creation is concerned. So it's a fairly painless process. So number three, what about making powerful characters in the game? Well, that really depends on what you're talking about. You can't play games that are more powerful, more perfect, or inappropriate for the game universe. Characters have to have flaws. So your character can't always be the one to win. Your character can't always be the one to outwit, outsmart, and beat all of the other characters. It's not fun for other people, and honestly, it can get a little bit boring for you. Number four, how do I post? Posting is in past tense third person. So I have an example here for you to read. Katie looked at Edward and Jim as she attempted to decide who she wanted to marry. We want to make sure that everybody posts in this format because that is the standard. When you're using a present tense, it is kind of off-putting for others. So again, just make sure that you stick to the format. Additionally, we also ask that your subject headers in all of the posts follow this format. You need to date it, have the post name, who the character is, and who you're tagging. So the example here says 12/17 as the date. In the hall is the name of the post. The character that's being written is in parentheses. and then it's tagging the people who are involved. And the reason we do this is because we allow people to use characters in multiple posts at the same time. Number 5, what about posting length? I don't have any sort of posting length requirement in this game. In general, you do want to make sure that you are writing comparable lengths of post to the people that you're writing with. It's not fair for one person to write several paragraphs of information and then get a response that's 1 or 2 words long. So try to be comparable in those situations. We also want to make sure that if we are having to write very short responses back and forth, it may be worth the effort to joint post through IM or email before posting it to the game. Number 6, how often should I post? You're required to post at least 8 times a month unless you're on a leave of absence or you've requested a temporary break where you're going to have to post less. Basically, this is twice a week for those who really don't have a lot of time to do anything more. This is important because it ensures that players have opportunities to write and they're not stuck being unable to write while they wait for somebody else to catch up. We do check this every month, so if we do find that you haven't been posting at least 8 times a month, you will be removed. Obviously, if you join the game mid-month, you're only required to have 2 posts per week that you were in the game. So number 7, what if I need to be missing in action? If you know you're going to be gone in advance, just let us know. We're totally fine with people taking breaks. We just want to know what's going on and be able to tell other people, hey, so-and-so's not going to be in, so you don't need to necessarily wait around to write for them. The other thing that you need to be conscious of, if possible, is to make arrangement for your characters. If your character is involved in a big thread of some sort that involves multiple characters, do you want us to wait? Do you want us to drag your character along? Do you want us to NPC your character? These are all up to you. We just need to know. Number 8, respect other players. Number 1 is we don't play in God mode, which means that you don't get to control what other people are doing or thinking in the game. Number 2, you don't play somebody else's character without their permission. Pretty straightforward. You don't write big impact stories or stories that are going to impact and change the tone or the atmosphere of the game without everybody being aware. So you may want to write about a tornado hitting the town. Well, that's a great idea, but you have to make sure everybody is on board before you do this, because as you know, that could cause a lot of problems with everybody. Number 4, don't harass, flame, or insult players on or off the board. I have no tolerance for that, and if I find out you're doing it, you'll be kicked, no questions asked. Number 5, respect designated plot and story limits. And then number 6, don't limit yourself to only writing with love interest and cliques. Anytime that there's a problem that arises out of any of that, just make sure you contact someone in the mod staff and we'll deal with it accordingly. Number 9, what if I want to advertise my game, blog, website, etc.? You can't do any of this on board. That's just not allowed, and it really detracts from what the point of the game happens to be. Now, if you have a game or something that you want to advertise or link with us, what you can do is contact a moderator, and we can discuss the feasibility of listing you under the links and affiliates section. Just because you request it doesn't mean it'll automatically happen, but we are willing to talk with you and seeing if it's something that we are comfortable doing. So number 10, what if I join but determine that Silver Lake isn't for me? Sometimes this does happen. People will join games and they'll realize that the game just doesn't suit them for whatever reason. If this happens, we're more than happy to do whatever it is you like with your character. Just let us know. For those of you who do decide to leave the game without telling us what to do with the characters, we will make the decision based on the needs of the game. Sometimes if the character is very important to something that's been going on, they can be put up for adoption. They may be made an NPC. We may just delete them from the game, period. So it all depends on what's going on. So number 11, what about sensitive topics? We allow sensitive subject matter and things that trigger people, but we are requesting that anytime you write about something that is sort of sensitive or you know may be rated R, we want to label our post to let people know that there are some mature themes going on. Some other things you may want to know is that if you want to upload images onto the wiki, they have to be hosted at another website, like PhotoBucket or TinyPic. The wiki has a very limited amount of space on it since it's a free hosting website, And what happens when you start loading pictures is that the space that you're allotted becomes very tiny very quickly. So you can paste pictures on here all you want, like you have here, and we have pictures all over various pages, but they have to be hosted somewhere else. Other than that, there's not a whole lot else that we have to worry about. Again, welcome to the game, and if you have any questions about the rules or anything that we've discussed in this video, please contact one of the moderators and we'll be more